Hi Pisces, welcome to your mid-January 2019 love reading. It's Rena here. I realize I'm missing some of my things on my table. I was kind of adjusting everything, and that's okay. Looks a little lopsided. This is a, what do you call it? A truncated or kind of a different, slightly different spread than I usually do. This is a mid-month reading, so I'm mixing things up a little bit. Okay. So the middle card represents the state of your love life right now. I should have said at the beginning that this is a reading, a love reading intended for people who are single and looking, as well as people who are coupled who are unhappy in that coupling. And I'm kind of saying this for my own benefit so that I remember to include single people in this reading. Now, the Three of Pentacles can be a card of possible, I'm thinking, if you are involved with somebody, that there's a pregnancy, a baby on the way perhaps, or maybe even wanting to conceive a child. If you are single, I guess it could be even the same thing. You could be single and you're pregnant, or you've gotten somebody pregnant, or that you want to start a family. 1 + 1 = 3. Always remember that. And this could be also a relationship with an earth sign individual, and you are compatible as a water sign with earth. Your opposite sign is Virgo, and there is also Taurus and Capricorns that are earth signs. So, oh, very interesting. Another 3 in the past position here. Very interesting. So this is the 3. This is the past that may be influencing the present, the 3 of Cups. This is a card of celebration. Well, somebody might have celebrated too much, and they got, I was going to say got knocked up because they, unexpectedly. But it can be simply that you are happy about this situation, but maybe you're in an unhappy relationship, and that's always possible. The 3 of Cups is a card of just having a good time, having a very active social life, and the 3 of Pentacles is much more grounded, practical, and that sort of thing. It's the Architect's card, the 3 of Pentacles. So it is talking about building something from a firm foundation. So what that tells me is that you may be in a stage right now, if you're single and looking, where you are tired. Maybe you're tired of that partying scene, or you just, the socializing with other people, and you would like to just kind of settle down. And I've been getting this theme over and over again with some of these readings, and at least twice, and I haven't done that many of them. So what that can possibly mean is that you are in this period of transition. If you're younger, this will probably be during your first Saturn return, which usually occurs around, I don't know, 27, 28. Even sometimes I think people can start their Saturn return when they're close to 30. But in that age range, when you start to feel more serious about life and you realize, hey, you know what? I'm in this new phase. I'm like, it's time to grow up. And you may already have your first serious job, and there's other indications or indicators of you being a grown-up, but this may be the final sign that you want to kind of change how you're living. Because, you know, like if with the Three of Cups, it can be a situation where you are very social, but your friends may start getting married, or, you know, whatever the equivalent is. And you feel like you're the last person standing, or it's not that you're just trying to imitate other people. It's just a natural progression, I would say. And so it's interesting. The number 3 is a number of joy. As a matter of fact, this year, 2019, adds up to a 3-year universal year in numerology. And the number 3 is all about creativity and joy. And so anything that you are doing, that you are creating in your life, whether it's a business or whether it is a lifestyle that works for you, that is enjoyable, that is not something that you're doing as a sense of obligation, is something that can feel very exciting to you in 2019. So, you know, the first 2 cards I am talking about are the number 3, so it's very interesting. Now, the pitfalls, or the challenge card, is represented by the 7 of Cups. This is a card that is connected to Neptune, which is your ruling planet. And this is about a person who may feel confused at the choices in their life. It can simply mean that you have a lot of options. However, there can be some diluted thinking mixed into this. And what I would say about this is that when we look again at the contrast between the 3 of Pentacles and 3 of Cups, perhaps there are 2 people that you are dealing with, one being more of the Cups person and one being more of the Pentacles. But with that Cups individual, they might be a party animal. Maybe they have a drinking problem, and you're craving something more practical and, what's the word I was thinking of? Predictable, not in a bad way predictable, but it's possible that that 3 of Cups person even affected you negatively. If this is a different person and it's describing someone, and it's not just making a choice between 2 different people though. With this 7 of Cups, there could be a lot of choices swirling around. And really with this card that accompanies it is the influence of Neptune, which can be wishful thinking. And I wish there was a different word I can use. That's why I said diluted thinking, because I think we should be wishful in our thinking. I don't think there's anything wrong with wishing about something. But what wishful thinking means is that somebody wants something that really isn't possible based on the reality of the situation. So that's why diluted thinking is actually more on point in terms of really expressing the truth of what the person is engaged in. So you may feel like, oh, and another thing too is that you may have given up your partying ways yourself in order to settle down. Now, maybe this is with another person. Maybe you're on your own and you're just doing it by yourself. But the point is that you may still feel like confused as to your direction in life. And that includes whether or not you want to settle down. If this person is like an earth sign individual, yes, you are compatible with such a person, just overall more than a fire sign or an air sign. And I'm talking about not looking at individual charts, but just as the archetype of a Pisces. The only problem is that an earth sign individual is going to be usually more organized and more focused, and disciplined, and they might frown upon the type of lifestyle that you may be leaving behind. So you may feel like you're losing the fun. If you have somebody in your life right now who you consider a very responsible person, you still may be ambivalent about it because they may almost resemble a parent in certain respects. Now, it's possible that such a person isn't really, that you're not meant to be with this person. Even if they are a good influence on you in certain ways, you may still need to look for the truly compatible partner. But on the other hand, you may just be not used to this type of person. Maybe you're trying to change your ways and be with somebody that is not so much interested in going out all the time and socializing and drinking and stuff, but they are interested in building a life, building wealth, maybe even literally building a house or something, and having that sense of stability. So one of the things, if you feel confused, is just to observe all of your thoughts, not even to judge them, but just to see, what's coming up for you. This is a form of self-inquiry where you try to pinpoint what exactly it is that you're feeling. And it's very interesting because I put this into practice just the other day, and I was just thinking before I recorded this how effective it was, because sometimes things trigger you, even when you feel like you have evolved quite a bit, you still are capable of being triggered. And if you're not careful, you can spiral off into a whole series of negative feelings and events. So what you do is you really start asking yourself, why am I feeling this way? What is this bringing up for me? And you just keep asking yourself, and you answer yourself, but you keep digging. If you feel like you still feel those feelings, keep digging and saying, what am I, in this moment? What is this symbolizing for me? And eventually what will happen is that you may have to sit with a certain discomfort, but this too shall pass if you are not reactive. The problem is a lot of people, they begin to mushroom in their thoughts. They start thinking too much. They start maybe discussing it with other people right away before they've even processed their own feelings about it, and then they get the input of other people that may have no bearing on what's good for you. So what I'm trying to say after all of this is that it's very important to know your own mind and what is going on there. And other people's input is interesting, but in the initial stages, sometimes it can obscure things and make things more confusing, and you can get lost. And there may be, you may be with somebody who has proposed even. And maybe the Three of Cups is an engagement and everybody's celebrating, and now you're faced with the reality of, wow, this is real. And I don't know. Now I've kind of changed my mind. And Pisces is a sign. I never really thought of Pisces as being indecisive. But the more I think about it, the more I think Pisces, I think I was even reading that about Pisces. But you're definitely, because you're a mutable sign and you are a water sign, that combination can give a change of heart. And as far as I'm concerned, sometimes this can even come across as a bit, what is that? Fickle, where you change your you change your feelings about someone or something. And when I say fickle, I mean that it's a little bit too changeable. Flexibility is one thing, but kind of twisting in the wind. And this is because you're very empathic, and you're very sensitive to your environment and very impressionable in your environment. So somebody else can sway you. You meet one person, you think you're in love. You meet another person the next day, and you're like, oh, I think I'm in love with this person, not that person. So it's really kind of built into your nature. Therefore, you have to maybe override the programming to some degree and not do what comes naturally if you tend to be like that Seven of Cups. And maybe that's why that card is connected to Neptune, because of the indecision. But I want to stress about that Seven of Cups is that part of the reason the person is undecided, not only because they see so many different choices before them, but also because they may have a change of heart so quickly. And so they all of a sudden they question whether they want something that they wanted not too long earlier, before. And this is why it's good to do things very deliberately and not rush into anything and not exit something too quickly, unless it's something that is a danger to you, of course. But yeah. What is coming in, or what the advice is represented by the Queen of Swords. This card is about, whenever I see a swords, I even think of like having to be one-pointed. Because this is about, swords connect with thought, and also air signs. Gemini. You have a weak spot for Geminis, Libra, Aquarius. And you may have to make a decision, but you have to allow your emotions to take a back seat at this time. And the thing is that the Queen in this card represents the feminine principle, which you are a feminine sign, and the emotions of the water element can cloud the mind sometimes and can create guilt, unnecessary guilt, a sense of over sentimentality towards a situation that may not be good right now, and also can present delusion, as I mentioned with the Seven of Cups, because your emotions may cause you to want something that's not good for you, simply because you feel that you may see something within a person that you think makes them the perfect partner, but you're being selective in whatever it is that you're feeling and thinking. And this distorts the reality of it. So the Swords is all about just the mind. Mind over matter, mind over the, head over heart. And it's not about being heartless, but it's about knowing that you need to make a decision, and you need your wits about you to make this decision. So looking at those first several cards, the decision that could be on the table here is whether to have this life that is very, maybe it's very social and it's not non-committal, or whether you want to settle down with somebody. It could be whether you enjoy your freedom and connecting with other people more than, you know, maybe spending your time primarily with one other person. By the way, it's not always going to be that the Three of Pentacles wins out. In some cases, it is more important for you to spend time being single. Maybe you've gotten out of a marriage that was really bad and you've been kind of living it up with the Three of Cups, and now you feel like maybe you have somebody in your life, or you feel now it's time, you know, and it's just really conditioning. Maybe other people are trying to kind of pressure you. Don't you want somebody in your life? Don't you want to, you know, you're already 35. Don't you want to start a family? So perhaps other people are trying to entice you into doing something that you're not ready to do. Even if you are 35, even if you are 40, maybe you're just not ready and you just don't feel like it. And so the Queen of Swords is, I think, really knowing your own mind and not allowing manipulation to kind of cloud your judgment. The outcome is the Eight of Wands. Something can just kind of like, I mean, I was going to say all hell can break loose, but that sounds bad. This is actually very good. You may feel like something was kind of held up. Maybe you were in a holding pattern in some way, and then all of a sudden, a lot of things are happening at once. It's possible that a fire sign individual is involved. And the fire signs are Aries, Sagittarius, which is a sign that you tend to gravitate towards, and Leo. And it's possible that something develops very quickly with this person. Perhaps this is somebody that is already on your radar. But the point is that even if this Eight of Wands is representing a situation that I described above, you may finally gain clarity on something and you're able to, it's like almost like once you realize what you want to do, then it takes care of itself. And all of a sudden things just kind of start moving for you. Because I feel like with the Seven of Cups, you may be kind of not sure if you really want to go through with a marriage, if you really want to have a child with somebody, or simply have a relationship with an earth sign. And you may have to ponder it, and then you make your decision, and it's like all the pieces fall into place. So I hope that at least some of you this resonates with. I realize that this might be kind of specific, or I don't know. It just felt like a little bit different than the typical readings I do. But in any case, if you'd like a private reading, since this is a general reading, you can check out my link below to my website, my online store. Otherwise, have a great rest of January. Take care. Bye.